Hi, everyone. This is Miss Yeagle. I hope you all are doing well, whether it is morning, afternoon, evening, or late at night. I hope you are having a good day, night, morning, evening. I am learning how to use this technology. I am trying to give myself grace, so give yourself grace as well. If you are struggling a little bit, be patient. But please, please, please email me if you have a question, if you have a concern, if you have a problem with technology. We're all trying to work through this. But what I want to do right now is explain to you where we are headed for the rest of this week. I'm going to try to talk as little as possible. However, yes, this is going to be a while. So expect this to take maybe 10 minutes. But here we go. What I want to do today is go over an example of analyzing what is revealed about history because, we've done so many activities related to this, but it has been a while. So what I want to do is just quickly practice that skill before you go back to working on your project. I'm going to remind you of the project and then also go over some changes that I have made that will hopefully be good for you. I'm going to go through resources available, uploading my MCPS classroom, and what to do if you need help. So first, looking at an example. So the question is, what does the artist of the cartoon communicate to us about history? So the caption below that you can't quite see says, Germany shall never be encircled. And encircled means surrounded. So give you a minute to look at the picture and think about, what do you think this artist is saying about Germany or about Hitler? While you think, I'm going to drink some water because trying to stay healthy. I hope you're trying to stay healthy as well. Okay, well, the answer is that the creator seems to communicate that Hitler wanted to take over the world instead of the world controlling Hitler. Okay, so notice the fact that Hitler has put his arms around the globe, right? And looking at his face, it looks like he is trying to say, this is mine, right? So his facial expression, his arms. I'm using my hands right now, even though you can't see my hands to demonstrate that. But, when you're putting your arms around something, you're saying, this is mine. That's what Hitler seems to be saying. Okay. And then the caption also helps us understand that a little bit. Okay. So, kind of walking through the different parts. Well, I just kind of explained my claim, right? What evidence is there to support this claim? Well, the picture of his arms, Hitler's arms encircling the globe, and then also the words in the caption support my claim. Okay, so then the next part is, well, okay, so these pieces of evidence communicate the claim. What are the techniques that are used? And that is picture or illustration, and then also the caption and the strong words written in the caption. Okay, so what I want to do now is go over reminders and changes. Okay, and just keep in mind that the purpose of looking at that cartoon was just to kind of review the process that we're going through. Now you're going to be looking at your book or a poem and analyzing, okay, what is revealed about history through that book or poem? And then what are those techniques that are used? Okay. And so almost all of you already began this project. You should have your Google Slides in Google Classroom. What you're going to need to do is just go into Google Classroom or go into your Drive, open that document, and then when you're finished with the assignment, instead of turning it into Google Classroom, you're going to turn it into my MCPS. Okay? So please, please keep if you were working on this assignment and you were on task, you should have a good amount of this assignment already completed in your Google Slides. Okay, but what I want to do is highlight for you a couple of changes at what are you analyzing? Like I said, if you brought your book home, like The Diary of Anne Frank or Daniel Story, you're going to be analyzing those books. Now, if you didn't bring your book home, or if you're like, Miss Yeagle, I didn't read a whole lot of that book, I don't feel like I could create a presentation about this, then what you're going to do is you are going to analyze one of the World War II poems that I've provided for you. Okay, so I have attached these poems. We'll see if it comes up. Okay, the one that all of you know because we've looked at this poem quite a few times is That Damned Fence. But there are quite a few other poems if you scroll all the way down, poems about concentration camps, living in internment camps, World War II and war. Some of you might still have paper copies of these, but if you don't, but you were planning on creating a presentation on the poem, you can scroll down to find the poem that you chose. Okay. Oops. Okay, so going back to the changes. Okay, so I had told you that you could work alone or work as a pair. That is still true. However, if you've already begun working with someone else and you have a way to communicate with them now, you can continue to work as a pair. However, if you do not have a way to communicate with that person, or you don't have a way to contact a classmate and say, hey, can I work with you? Please work alone. I would rather you get a good grade for yourself than have you wait around and see if you can find someone else to work with. Okay, so if you don't already have someone to work with, please complete this project on your own. Okay, so the next thing is if you have not already created a Google Slides presentation, you may write a mini essay instead, okay, with a simple introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion sentence. Okay, that is fine if you prefer to write instead of creating the slides. Okay, now below we have the same information as last time, except for I've changed the amount of slides that I want you to have, those body paragraph slides. So instead of having 3 slides of 3 different literary techniques, what I've said is that I want you to complete 2 different slides with techniques. So maybe you have one slide on imagery and then another slide on dialogue. Okay. Now, if you've already created the presentation, you've already turned it in, don't worry about it. Don't change anything. Don't delete anything. But if you haven't begun working on this, this is a way to just kind of tweak everything to help you hopefully be more successful in the amount of time that we have to work on this. Okay. So you can read the rest of the information on your own, but other very important piece of information. This is due by this Wednesday at midnight. Okay, so that gives you today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It is worth 20 formative points. It should be really helpful to you and a good opportunity for you to get a good grade. But you will not be presenting this assignment. Okay, so previously the plan was to have you present it. Now we're not going to have you present it. Whew, I'm getting tired of talking, but that's okay. 10 minutes and you never, well, not never, but you don't have to hear me talk a whole lot more. Okay, so resources that I have to help you. Okay, if you click this link, it will take you to an example, a very good example of a slideshow on a book that you have not read so you can see what is a good example of this kind of slideshow. If you click on this link right here, there are sentence starters for your essay if you prefer the essay version. Okay, but what's really important is that we are using My MCPS Classroom. So all assignments from now on must be turned in through My MCPS Classroom. Please let me know if you have a question or you have a concern or this is difficult for you, but you must turn in your assignments through My MCPS Classroom. I will not be looking in Google Classroom anymore. Okay, so like I said, open your document in Google Classroom. If you've already created or you're already in the middle of the presentation, open it and add what you need to, but then you need to attach it to My MCPS Classroom. So in order to do that, you're going to click on this page that you found this video on. You're going to click on assignments, and then it'll give you an option to attach. Now, if you prefer to write an essay, you can also attach that. It can be a Word document or a PowerPoint. It doesn't have to be Google Slides or Google Docs. You can even write your essay right there in the space that I've provided for you. Okay, but then this is another piece of information that's very important. Each partner should turn in their assignment and label each slide or paragraph so that you can both get credit. Okay, so the next question, okay, what if, Miss Yeagle, what if I need help? Okay, how should I do that? Well, today, assuming you're looking at this on Monday, today you are working independently. However, if you find that you go to open a link and you can't even work on this assignment because the link isn't working, please email me as soon as possible. I will be watching emails. I have meetings all day Monday or throughout the day on Monday, but if you have a question, please feel free to ask. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay. But then what's going to be happening is if you look at this schedule, there we go. If you look at this schedule, this is the time where you can ask me specific questions and I will be getting back to you as soon as possible. Okay, so on Tuesday, first period from 12:45 to 1:30 is when we'll have our live check-ins, which will be um, posting questions on a discussion board. I'll be responding as soon as possible. At this point, I'm not going to be doing live Zoom meetings just because I think this is just a time for you to ask questions, and I think I'll be able to answer. Most of you have said you prefer like emailing or texting. So that's the time period where you're going to be asking questions, and I'll respond as soon as possible. So period 2, 1 to 40 to 2:25, period 5, 12:45 to 1:30 on Wednesday, and then period 7, 2:35 to 3:20. Okay, so the idea is that you need to pace yourself. You need to figure out what you need to work on. So maybe that means today, Monday, you reread that poem or you reread a chapter in your book. Then maybe on Tuesday, you work on 2 slides, and then on Wednesday, or like one literary technique, and then on Wednesday you work on the other literary technique, so that you can get it done by Wednesday at midnight. But feel free to email me, but I will 100% get back to you quickly during the live check-in times because those are times set aside for me to help each one of you during this process. So hope this was helpful. I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you or see you later.